Start of the race will be on green. Every restart will be on green.
It is indeed race day, and welcome everybody to the Norse Force Invader Series broadcast, brought to you by Blaze Pizza and the rest of our wonderful sponsors as we head to Indianapolis, United States for the Indy 150 in the Norse Force Invader Series here tonight. Thank you to everyone tuning in on Twitch, everyone in the chat. Thank you guys for joining in. And we are set for another week of intense Norse Force Invader Series action. We already have some action there in the chat with BCal with the sub. 1 year. Thank you very much, and thank you for supporting the channel. We could not be more excited to kick this one off with that tonight.
What do I get after a year of being subbed?
And that, unfortunately or fortunately, might be the theme song of the night. Here comes the boom as we are at Indy, a tough 2.5 mile rectangular shaped oval. We're straying away from the normal D-shaped oval or just the regular circle oval that we've been frequenting over the past couple weeks, and we head to the four-corner 2.5 mile rectangle in Indianapolis, USA. 0 degrees of banking along the back and front stretch, and 9.2 degree banking in the corner. So not an extreme amount of banking, but as we watch a couple of these guys on their qualifying laps, just enough to make the truck pretty quick through these corners, and it will be interesting how they perform here tonight. Unfortunately, our co-host Joshua Crane cannot be here with us tonight, so you're stuck with me all night long, but it's sure to be a good one, as the Norse Force Invader Series has been really the highlight of the series so far. As we take a look at the point standings heading into this race, this is our 6th race of the season. We've had 5 here to this point, and after 5 races, Chase Bonzer is your points leader. A couple of guys that we've called their names a lot throughout this season. Aaron Mulrooney Jr. is second in points. Robbie Oddie, who we have constantly called all season long, is in third. Lucas Cram in fourth. Josh Zentek in fifth. And Dominic Howe is in sixth. Dominic Howe had a rough week last week. He dropped 4 spots in the points, and your big mover in the points was Alex Basilio, who went up 6 spots in his 3rd race of the season. Another big mover up there at the front was Lucas Cram, jumping from 7th to 4th last week after a good run at Iowa Speedway. A lot of these guys hoping to get another shot at it. And in terms of getting another shot, we're talking points, we're talking wins. It is a long season. There's 25 races. We're only 5 races in. This will be the 6th race of the year. So still a long ways to go for a lot of these drivers, a lot of races to catch up. The top 12 make the playoffs. So it's not quite time to go, but at the same time, you got to start getting the car dialed in before too long. Qualifying underway here, and we see the 30 truck, who's normally run by Dominic Howe, and Jake Potak is going to be holding on to the pole position right now. Still a little bit of qualifying left, 3.5 minutes to go, but we are going to get set to go here before too long. S Pac-Man in the chat says this is his first race and he's excited to see how it plays out. I could not agree more. A lot of these guys having their first couple races here. So interesting to see how these new faces are really going to shake out in the Norse Force Invader Series. A couple names that you well know if you've been watching and following along with this series. Dylan Alt in 4th. Chase Bonzer, like we said, in 5th. And a guy we mentioned earlier, Alex Basilio, is in 6th. Skylar Carnes, he has speed all year. He's currently holding on to 7th. And Derek Winter is in 8th. We'll get the rest of the field once it goes official before we kick on off here. But first, we're going to turn it over to a word from our sponsor.
Wait, Oh, hello, hi, how are you? All right. Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? All right, I'm Ron. Oh, what's going on? How you doing, sir? How you doing? I'm Ron. Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? Oh, hello, hi, how are you? How you doing? Oh, my God. I'm Ron, nice to meet you. Blaze right now is offering a large shareable pizza here with real ingredients. Not frozen, none of that frozen crust, all right? Right. So I want to show you some beautiful, unique toppings that we have. Artichoke, arugula. Wow. You like that type of stuff? That's for you, all right? Oh, no, I'm Ron. I don't know who LeBron is. Me and you take a selfie. Come on in. Hey, that's Ron. You tell your friends to take you to Blaze Pizza and tell them Ron sent you, okay? All right, put it there. My God. You even take Ron's hat. That's yours.
Oh my God.
Whether you are a LeBron fan or not, you got to admit Blaze Pizza is one of the premier pizza places for sure. If you haven't gone there, I highly suggest you give it a try. It is basically a Subway for pizza, and it's one of, in my opinion, the best pizza places you can go to for that. Bear Palm OG in the chat says, let's go number 6. He's pulling for, I believe that is Andrew Santo in the 6 truck. You know, with 1 minute left in qualifying, he looks like he's going to be starting toward the back of the field. Back there in 22nd. We're going to see how this all shakes out. Indianapolis Motor Speedway, like we talked about earlier, it is a long track, that 2.5 mile rectangle oval. And it's going to be interesting to see how tires play a factor in the Cup cars. They're very much a factor. But in terms of these trucks, they've shown us throughout the year that they've had the ability to run loose. And we're going to be curious to see if they will run loose again tonight. Lucas C in the chat saying he's barely scraping the wall for the win. So that tells us that there might be a good chance that these trucks are loose tonight. And it's going to be interesting to see how they run in traffic and how people push in traffic, whether they're patient or not. We do have 150 miles around this track. So it's going to be quite the race here tonight. Qualifying just about wrapping up here, and we are going to take a look at the leaderboard as the field starts to grid down pit road. I'm sorry, down the front straightaway. The bricks signifying the start-finish line here at Indianapolis with the huge grandstand on the front stretch, stretching all the way into Turn 1 and Turn 2, and stretching all the way from 3 back around the front straightaway. So quick look at the field here as they start to grid on out. Beautiful Indianapolis Motor Speedway right in front of them. And let's take you down through the starting grid. Starting on the pole is going to be Josh Potak in the 30 truck. We've seen Dominic Howe in the 30 truck for most of the year, so I'm not quite sure what is going on there. Next to him is going to be the 2 truck of Aaron Mulroney Jr. We've seen him all year long, and we expect him to run back up the front again tonight. On row 2, it's going to be Ryan Libby on the inside, followed by Dylan Alt on his outside. Back behind them, Chase Bonzer and Rabiati. In row 4, it's going to be Alex Basilio with Skylar Carnes on his outside, starting in the 8th position. Be on the lookout for Skylar to run up near the front for most of the race. He's had speed, but he struggled with consistency, so it'll be interesting to see how he performs here tonight. Derek Winter in the 9 truck will be starting 9th. That's pretty fitting. And Mark Stryker rounds out your top 10. Heading into 11th position, it's David Fugue. Joshua Stiles is going to start 12th. We called his name quite a bit last week. We hope he runs back toward the front once again. Josh Zentek is going to be in 13th. And Robert Milliken will start off the day in 14th. 15th is going to be Andrew Rattel, and 16th is going to be Chris Kynes. We called his name a lot towards the end of the race as he was able to avoid a lot of the wreckage and make it to the front of the pack. William Downin is going to be in the 92. He will be in 17th. 18th on his outside is Joshua Schofield. Starting 19th is John Robert Masterson. We called his name at the end a lot. A lot of these guys, they survived and they made it work at the end of last week. And Samuel Williams in that beautiful 48 truck will be starting in 20th. Tyler Davis will be in 21st. And Andrew Santo, who we saw some cheers for in the chat, starting back there in 22nd. Let's see if he can run up through the field. David Ketchum will roll off 23rd, and Justin Walters will start 24th. Rounding out the field is going to be Quinn Trimmer in the 78 machine. Going to be interested to see if he can bring it to the front of the pack too. Field pacing as we get ready to go here. Quick look at the track info before we get rolling. It is the oval track, 2.51 miles, 4 corners, and the track temp is a blistering 101 degrees. So you gotta wonder how that's going to play out for the trucks. We are getting ready to go green here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway as the field heads into turn 3. The crowd getting ready. You see the grandstands just packed to the brim here tonight. And they're ready to see some beautiful racing action brought to you by this Norse Force Invader Series. The series has proved exciting for most of the season. So let's see if it's going to be another great one. Pace car heading to pit road, and we are just about ready to go green. 30 truck leads him to the green flag, chasing the pace car down pit road, down this long front straightaway. Green flag in the air, and we are off here at Indy. Trucks banging doors as they take the green flag and head down into 1. Potak going to hold that inside line, and he's going to clear heading off for 1. Field 2x2 back behind him. 2x2 back there. Field starting to spread out. You see the trucks just hauling off into turn 2 and down this long back straightaway where draft and passing will be abound. Trucks slow on the apron back there. That's the 46. I'm sorry, the 45 of Tyler Davis. A quick look at what happened. He heads into turn 2 here. And just gets a little bit loose right there. Holds onto it. Makes it work. But you saw the trucks are starting to get a little bit loose. Heading into the end of lap 1 here. The 30 of Potak starting to pull away here. Ryan Libby and Dylan Alt battling back behind him. As these trucks are getting 2x2 back here. A couple guys battling for position here early. That's Bonzer in a deep battle with the 12 truck of Robbie Oddie, running a different paint scheme tonight as opposed to his regular Napa truck. That is, unless, of course, Trading Paints is not working, in which case I apologize. But either way, a beautiful truck, and he's going to try and run it up to the front of the field here today. Field's starting to single file on out here on lap 2, and you got to wonder if that's how the race is going to go, or if we're going to get a little bit more action here as tires start to wear off. Field's starting to settle down here as we head into lap 3 out of 60. And Potak continues to hold on to the lead here. The Proximity Racing team, we've seen them be strong all year long. And it looks like they're going to have another strong showing. You see 3 of the trucks on screen right there. That's Alt leading the charge for the Proximity Gaming guys as he heads down into 3. Little more battling going on back here later in the pack. We're following along with the 14 of David Fugue right now as he looks to make a pass on Chris Kynes there. Looking inside, heading into 4. That inside line so powerful here at Indianapolis, and he makes the pass right there with ease, heading back down the front straightaway. And you see that inside line is really that preferred line. We got to wonder how that's going to play a factor throughout the rest of the race. We got to wonder, are tires going to affect that line? Will they be able to run the whole low line the whole time, or will the line change and move half a groove up? Will it move 2 grooves up? we have yet to see. Derek Winter in the 9 truck battling with the 21 of Basilio here. He's going to fall back into line. Truck's heading single file down the back straightaway. A lot of the drivers peaking low, wanting to head into the corner on the low side, try and get that preferred line and make a pass, but it's really tough here at Indy as it's proving. Truck's starting to spread out. You've really got to use the draft. And we're going to see how people are able to manage their tires, as you got to imagine with how this race has started. That's going to be a factor as we head throughout this one. Right behind him, Chris Kynes under attack from the 13 of Andrew Rattel. Rattel can't quite make the pass as we see Kynes making that second groove work. Able to carry a bunch of speed off the corner. They can't quite make the pass just yet. 13 of Rattel locked in a battle here. There's Dominic Howe, who we mentioned earlier. He's running the 10 truck here tonight instead of his normal 30 truck. And right behind him, Lucas Cram in the 44. We've seen him a lot toward the front. You got to wonder if he's going to make a charge up here tonight. Big run by the 10 of Howe. Can he get there? Looks like he's got the inside of Kynes. And he's going to make the pass, heading down and start-finish line. Riding along with Cram here, and he's going to give a shove to the 10 truck of Howe. They hang on into one. Driver's looking really smooth here early. We head back to the lead. Potak continues to pull away. The gap now almost a second on Dylan Alt in second place. Top 5 pretty much checking out from the rest of the field. From Bonser to Mulroney Jr., it's almost 1.6 seconds there. You see the gap right there. They come off a 4. A little bit of battling going on in the back of the pack as trucks start to single file on out here. It's going to be curious whether some drivers start to get impatient with the single file run or if they're going to be able to keep up with it. Oh, and the 77 is turned by Zentek. That's Stryker and the 77 going into the wall. And other trucks wrecking as well. Our first caution of the night is going to come on lap 7, and it looked like Stryker was helped by the 8 of Zentek. Let's have another look. Following along with the 77 of Stryker here as they're exiting 1, going into 2. A good run by the 8 truck, and he just clips the inside of this Mark Stryker in the 77. He's going to spin on out, and the 10 of Dominic Howe has a little trouble there. He's with the 22. Let's take a look at what happened to them. Dominic Howe following along with Lucas Cram here, who just made the pass on him. Heads into 3. He sees the action there and just loses it. Might have gotten on the brakes a little hard there. And that is going to send him into the infield. Looks like no damage, though. So truck's going to be A-okay. Back live here now. The field starts to get ready to head down pit road, I believe. Looks like the field is going to stay out and stay as is. There's the 8 truck of Zentek right back there, holding on to the 10th position. And a fortunate beneficiary of that he was not collected in that as well. And here comes the whole field down pit road. Everybody going down pit road. Potak leads the way. Everyone's going to scramble for tires here. and probably feel, because after that run, you have no idea how long this is going to last. There we go. All the field coming down pit road. Everybody looking for tires here. Tires and fuel. Everyone hitting your pit stop. Vital here. Because as we saw in that last run, track position is going to be so important. Looks like the 30 of Potak is going to just win it going away. Beautiful run off of pit road by him. And you see that skinny pit road, it might cause a little bit of issues later in the race once people start getting a little more racy. Seeing the lap counter winding down. If you look at the race off of pit road here, Potak's going to take first and hang on to it. Dylan Alt in second, Ryan Libby in third, and Robbie Adi is actually going to be in fifth. This has him scored fourth, but he will be in fifth behind Ryan Libby. Josh Zentek had a little bit of damage, it would appear, with that 18-second pit stop. And we are going to get right back under caution here. So under this caution, we're going to take a quick moment to thank another one of our sponsors, Butt Kicker.
A viewing experience so real. You're not only trackside, you're inside. Meet Butt Kicker, a simple wireless device that takes just seconds to install. Breakthrough technology that shakes your couch and rocks you without any additional volume. Experience the thrill of live racing at home. Go to shakemycouch.com right now to see a special offer for race fans. Don't just watch TV, feel it.
Back live here, and we are still under caution. The caution laps at Indy are definitely long, that 2.5 mile track, and it's not one like Talladega, so you gotta kind of wait your turn. And this is where it's gonna get interesting, because these long pace laps, they tend to lead to a lot of thinking, and this is gonna lead to overthinking. Our driver's gonna try and overdrive the car, knowing that they gotta pick up all the positions with these new tires and then hang on as they go, or will it seemingly bore these drivers, and then nobody's going to be ready on the restart? It's hard to say this early in the race. But a lot of the trucks really keeping their positions here. Quick look at the top five. It's pretty much as it started, just a little bit of shuffling there. Potak's going to hold on to that first position. He started on the pole. Alt is going to be in second, Libby in third, Bo Maroney Jr. in fourth, and Robbie Adi rounding out that top five. Someone we had talked about earlier was the 21 truck of Alex Basilio. He had run in the back of the pack to start last week's race, but made his way to the front, and he really challenged there at Iowa last week. And he was able to come away with a good finish, and he's really pushing. We mentioned him in the points, jumping, I believe it was 5 spots, making his way toward that middle tier of drivers. And it's going to be nice to watch him and see if he's able to challenge these proximity racing guys, give them a bit of a run for their money, so to speak. Right next to him is the 44 of Lucas Cram, who's all the way up to 10th already. Saw him start there in the back, but he's made his way up and fast. So going to be fun to watch these guys kind of go from back to front and see whereabouts they will end up. But like we mentioned, if you're that driver, you still got to be patient. You can't overdrive the truck this early. We're only 11 laps. I know there is only 60 laps, and a lot of drivers are going to look at that and start to freak themselves out. But at the same time, it's 60 laps. It's a long way around here. You've been with us under caution. You know how long these cautions are. And you know that track position is so important. So all this is going to play into their strategies. You know that pit crews and crew chiefs are talking to each other. The drivers are talking to the crew chiefs, and they're all trying to figure out what's going to work best. Rabbiati going all the way to the apron there, warming the tires up. And a lot of the trucks warming those tires up, getting them ready to go. You got to imagine this is going to be a fun restart here. Field coming out of 3, one more corner under caution, and then a bit of that long front straightaway, and we will be back under green here at the Norse Force Invader Series Indy 150. Potak leading them out of 4 and back down. He has not relinquished the lead yet, and let's see if he will at all. Restart in Potak's hands. Pace car is off, and we are getting ready to go. All the trucks getting ready. The 23 of Ryan Libby right on his bumper there. Green flag is out. We are back underway. And here they come. Already 3 wide back behind. Potak and Alt in a stiff battle for first. Big wreck on the front straightaway. Bunch of trucks involved. I jumped the gun on who I thought was involved. Not quite sure who all that was. Let's take a quick look. We saw the 22 of Josh Schofield dive low, and he's hit by the 13 of Andrew Rattel right there. The 6 truck is involved. That's Andrew Santo, and it is just a mad pileup. We're going to have to look at that one more time. And let's take a look from the chopper that we have above overhead so we can get a better view at it. Actually, let's go to the blimp. We head to the back of the pack here, trying to figure out what happened on that restart. Thank you to the Next Level Gaming blimp here today. We see the 22 dive low. 13 gets run over from behind, it would appear, by the 6. I have to take one more look at that one, I think. So here we go from the chopper. 6 runs into 13 and might have spun his tires a little bit. Oh, and the 22, I believe that is up there, gets in the wall. 6 slows up, and it is just a chain reaction kind of event right there, putting us back under caution. And we're back green? Oh boy, this is a catastrophic nightmare. I'm sorry, I don't think we ever hit a caution there. No truck turned more than 90 degrees, and the Norse Force officials did not throw a caution. I'm sorry about that. Well, what a shocking turn of events, as a bunch of trucks have gotten into the wall. And we're going to continue under green flag here. Dylan Alt making his way up toward the lead here. Coming off a 3, and he's got a big run on Potak. Rabbiati moving up into 30. He's looking for a piece of that battle for the lead as well. Back down the front straightaway. Trying to cut the air, Potak. All the way down to that low line. Alt going to go high. Potak cutting the air, trying to make it hard to draft him. Back down into 1. Potak and Alt battling for the lead. It's proximity gaming, chasing down that 30 truck right there. Both Chevrolet Silverados. There's the third Silverado of Rabbiati back there, also ready to do battle. Adi is loving what he's seeing as these trucks do battle in front of him. He's able to just keep running his line and continue to close, as the drafting game's really starting to play out here. You see how important the draft is and how important it is to play with that air, kind of muddy the air a little bit. Apparently muddy my commentating as well, as Dylan Alt continues to try and chase down Potak. Top 10 have really broken away here as we head back to the 14th place car of David Few. He's back there 1.3 seconds back, trying to chase down that lead pack in front of him. Big battle going on right there. Derek Winter, Lucas Cram, Aaron Mulroney Jr. all involved in this one. Lucas Cram just pushing, trying to get his way toward the front as we ride along on board with him. You hear him lifting off the throttle and getting right back on it, trying to make the truck turn as he heads down the front straightaway. Losing a little bit of ground there to Libby in the 23, but he's really trying to make it work. He's got Mulroney Jr. on his outside, and they are battling, trying to stay off each other, really working that truck. You're looking at the hands inside the driver, just really making it work. And there is Mulroney Jr. You see him peeking on the right side of the screen. And they are side by side for the 6th place. Potek continuing to lead. He's led 15 of the 17 laps. Frankly, I don't know which one he hasn't led. But top 3 drivers are breaking away. That's Potek, Alt, and Adi. We look back to 5th, and it is Libby, followed by Winter. And then Lucas Cram and Aaron Mulroney Jr. continue to duke it out here. Back behind them, we have Joshua Stiles under attack from Robert Milliken in the 18 truck right there, heading into 1. Milliken riding that low line, continuing to make the 19 work on the outside. But so far, Stiles is showing us he can run that second groove, really making the truck work with that speed off. But it looks like Milliken's going to have a run going down the back straightaway. Right behind him is the 81. That's your points leader of Chase Bonzer. We're sure to see him back toward the front at some point here today. But right now, he's got the battle of Milliken and Stiles right in front of him. Field starting to single file on out here. As we talked about how important preserving the tires is going to be, and we saw a change of position here. Robbie Adi getting by the 42 of Alt. Let's see if we can find where that happened. Last we had looked at them, they're side by side, and Alt gets really loose off of 4. Heading down the front straight, he's going to lose a bit of speed, and Adi takes advantage. You see him using that draft, catching right up, and then clears him going into 1 easily. And we are back live as Alt tries to chase him back down. Single file all the way down the front straightaway here. This is where the skill of the drivers is going to start to show. We rode on board with a couple drivers earlier and we heard the lifting of the truck going on. And there might be a little bit of playing with the brakes, the brake bias, how the truck's entering the corner, how much speed you can carry off. And we're really going to be curious as to how that plays out throughout this run, which has been our best run of the night. We're still green and it's lap 20 out of 60 here at Indy. Riding along here with the 19 of Joshua Stiles. He's got David Fugue right in his rear view mirror. And right in front of him is Chase Bonzer. We talked about him earlier as well. Battle going on behind him is not quite as much of a battle as I thought. The 92 trying to chase down the 78 of Quinn Trimmer. We saw him start at the rear of the field, and he's now up to 17th place, trying to make that truck work for him. As up in the wall in front of Trimmer is Tyler Davis. I'm sorry, that's Trimmer that's up in the wall. So the 92 of Downham's going to take advantage of it, get around him for 17th. Just as we talked about him, he's going to get in the wall. coming off a 2, and you gotta wonder if the truck's loose or tight there. And the commentator curse shows its hand right there. 29 of Chris Kynes trying to get around. Seeing if the 78 slow. Head down the front straightaway. Kynes trying to reel in Trimmer. Looks like he's going to get all the way to the bumper of the truck. Looking inside, heading into 1. Can't quite get there. He's not quite going to make it. You see the truck starting to get loose here. Tires wearing off a little bit. Track starting to rubber in too. And it's a hot track as well. You see him go all the way down to the apron. Is something wrong with the 78, or is he giving way to the 29? Looks like he's just going to give way. Hold on to the bottom here. He's ahead into 3. Just back up the track, heading into 4, and he's going to get right in the draft of the 29 of Chris Kynes. There they go, and they are back off to the races. Single file down the front straightaway. Back behind him, the 8 of Josh Zentek trying to peek under the 48. That's Samuel Williams. And it looks like he's going to have his quarter panel going into 1. Zentek, who we saw involved in the wreck earlier with Stryker, is trying to battle his way back up to the front after fixing a little bit of damage. And we are under caution. And for what, I couldn't tell you. Let's see if we can find where that caution was. Don't know if we're quite going to be able to. Riding along with, I believe this is the 10 of Dominic Howe right here. They're racing hard off a 2. Don't quite know that we're going to be able to find this wreck. So we flash back to live here. Field's starting to stack on up here. And they'll be heading down to pit road momentarily. Gotta imagine everyone's going to want 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles and a full tank of fuel. As we've shown that we can have good green flag runs here tonight. Looking forward to more as the race continues. And you do wonder if any strategy is going to be in effect, or if it's just going to be driver versus driver. Looking up there toward the front, Potak's still holding on to the lead, but the 44 of Lucas Cram has been making a heck of a drive to the front. He is currently sitting in 3rd. Heading down pit road here. Actually, our caution might have been Dylan Alt in the 42. Let's see if we can find what happened. We saw him running at the front, and now he is not. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. Don't know that we're quite gonna find it. We're gonna try for you guys. We are not going to. I know the 42 is involved. That's about all I can tell you, unfortunately. As we catch back up here live. With the race off of pit road, Cram jumping up to 2nd place here now. He's gonna beat Adi off of pit road. As it's going to be the 30 of Potak, Cram, Adi, and Carnes back there in 4th with a 15.66 second stop. Chase Bonser in the 81 had a 50-second pit stop. And Bear Palm OG says, I'm out the 6. So, oops, sorry about that. What? Uh-oh. There we go. I don't know quite what that is. Production crew needs a little bit of work. But we continue down this one. Thanks for sticking with us here through thick and thin. Bear Palm says that restart wreck screwed up my steering and got loose and smacked the wall. So it looks like the 6 truck was the cause for the caution here. There's a bit of action. It's going to group the field back on up. We saw him single file and start to really spread out. A lot of draft and try and catch the guy and then make a pass in the corner. So far, the corners have been the place to pass. It's going to be interesting whether that changes as the race goes on or not. The wreck happened way after the self-spin of the 6, we were informed. So, again, we're guessing that it was the 42. Not 100% sure. My apologies. We are going to work on that. This is our second caution of the race. Is that right? Quick fake out there by Rabbiati. Let's get a quick check of the weather here. 78 degrees in the air. There's a 101 track temp when we started the day. Little wind out of the northeast as Rabbiati gets in the grass and shows you which way that wind direction's going. But we are back under caution here. Not quite halfway just yet. And Potek has been absolutely dominant so far today. As we hit lap 27, let's get a quick recap of the race. Leader is still Josh Potek. He's led nearly every single lap here. Started on the pole and has had a great one so far. We're under a second caution of the day on our 8th lap of caution. And as you can tell, these are long cautions because of the long caution laps. So the drivers are just hanging in there. And fatigue may play a factor here. With the long caution laps, it's going to extend the race in terms of time. And that could make people very impatient once we hit these restarts. Field double filing on back up as we get ready to go here. The truck to watch as we head throughout. We obviously have those big names as Cram, Adi, and Carnes. But Alex Basilio in the 21 truck. We've seen him drive to the front of the field. And he's been pretty good so far. Dominic Howe in the 10. Also been a welcome surprise. He's run pretty well so far, but he started in the back of the pack and was kind of stuck back there for a little while. He's made his way back to the front. And John Robert Masterson, we mentioned him at the start of the race, how far back in the pack he started. And he is another one who's just climbed up through the pack. An interesting strategy has been to avoid the wrecks and kind of live to see another day. But we're able to keep carrying on. Pace car is off. Potek leads the field back down. And Lucas Cram on his outside, who we haven't seen up there quite yet. Green flag is out. Cram and Potek hit the gas, and we are backing away here at Indy. Field heading down in turn 1, just carrying tons of speed on those new tires. Field 2x2. Lots of passing going on as people try to make up ground. Big battle right here. Basilio, who we just mentioned, stuck on that outside line, trying to get back down to the bottom. That preferred line as the field fans out down the back straightaway. Starting to single file on up here. Starting to get back into that groove. And the 8 truck is around. That's Zentech. He's around. The 81's around. Couple trucks involved in a multi-car incident here on the back straightaway right after we went green. Let's take another look at that one. Down the back straightaway, we see Zentech go all the way to the bottom there, trying to make up some ground. He's door-to-door with the 81. Just gets into the 81 there. Collects him in the 81. The 78's down there on the apron. That's Quinn Trimmer trying to avoid the wreck. And that is an unfortunate way to head back to the pack for Zentech. That is his second wreck of the race, I believe. So we're going to see how that crew can get everything tuned back up. New Country Chevrolet. Gotta get it fixed back up and ready to go back green. And the 81 did not approve of that. As you see him voice his displeasure with his door right there. Let's take one more look at this. We're going to ride on board with the 8. This was Zentech involved in the wreck right there. He's got the 81 of Bonzer on his outside here. Coming up the track. And they're door to door right here. And it looks like he just brings it a little too tight. Throttles it on down. And just a bad way to wreck right there. Now we flip back over to the 81. Bonzer. Let's see what happens here. Giving the 8 truck a little door action. We might have a little drama here tonight. See the 81. Displeased with that caution. Don't quite know if that was a spotter's fault or what happened there. But regardless, we are back under caution for the 3rd time today. As we avoided the caution earlier. Rabiati heading down the access road. I think this is possibly just playing a little gamesmanship action. As we are going across the start-finish line and be officially halfway in this race. Oh, Rabiati with a huge fake out right there. That fooled me. Couple trucks in the back gonna head down pit road. These trucks are still on the lead lap. Every truck except Joshua Stiles, who's in the 92. And the 8 of Zentech are all in the lead lap. So we have 22 cars still on the lead lap. 22 trucks still on the lead lap. So really still anybody's race. As pace lights are still on the pace car. going to take this caution flag to send you back to commercial break, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Okay, we're going to keep this quick.
Because at Blaze Pizza,
artisanal quality at crazy fast speed is what we're all about.
Fresh dough made from scratch daily.
Walk the line and choose any toppings you'd like.
It's all one price.
Then it's just 180 seconds in our blazing hot oven
For fast bar perfection.
That's Blaze Pizza. Sound good?
Then come check us out and build your own pizza at Blaze Pizza.
Blaze Pizza, a wonderful establishment and a big sponsor of the Norse Force Racing League. If you haven't, go give them a try. And if you really want to give them a try, the broadcast team tonight is handing out a couple of free pizza trials. So be sure to mention in the chat you want to try Blaze Pizza. And we'll be sure to give away to a couple excited fans free pizza coupons. Pace lights off on the pace car. Again with the redundancy, I'm very good at that. And these trucks are going to line up 2 by 2. And we're going to get set to go back green. Still 28 to go here. So if you're in the chat and you're enjoying this race, let us know who you think is going to win. We've seen Potak in the 30 truck just dominate this race, leading much of it, starting on the pole. But Robbie Otti's now up at the front, and Lucas Cram also up there. And a name we haven't called a lot today, Skylar Carnes, is up there in 4th on the outside in that red truck, the Toyota Tundra. We mentioned his name quite a bit today. Or, I'm sorry, we haven't mentioned his name quite a bit today. That's because he started in the back, but we did say pre-race that he's had a lot of speed throughout these past couple races. So we got to watch out for him once again. And he's proven us right. Couple Robbie Otti cheers in the chat, and it's hard to root against him. In the 12 truck, not running the Napa scheme today, which is an interesting choice. A little change up, if you will. And it's seeming to do him good so far here today. Started in 6th and has moved on up to 1st. So we get set to go back green here at Indy. Pace car is off. Field coming back to green. Potak going to lead him to the green once again. Choosing the inside, that preferred line that we've seen all race long. And trucks jumping to the inside here already. Way down the front straight. Cram with an excellent push. Trying to push past Otti. Trying to keep him back there, back behind you guys. And they're going to ride up. Heading into turn 2. Otti and Cram side by side, but Otti holding speed in that second groove. We haven't really seen anyone successful with it, but Otti's going to prove us wrong here on lap 33. Otti clears Cram in the 44, and it looks like it's going to be a 3-truck breakaway, maybe a 4-truck breakaway. Skylar Carnes hanging on back there in the 47 Toyota Tundra. Dominic Howe, who we mentioned earlier, is also up there. William Downham up in the 92 is up high, and he's going to be hung out to dry. We talked about how that inside line runs so fast here. And with the outside line, it just sends you to the back of the field like you have an anchor strapped to your leg. 30 Potak continuing to pull away here, and a 4-truck battle right behind him of Otti, Cram, Carnes, and Dominic Howe in that 10. Big battle in the back of the pack here. We see the 48 of Samuel Williams. He's leading those 3 trucks, leading this pack. The 26 of David Ketchum right there. trying to hold off Quinn Trimmer in the 78. We saw Trimmer involved in a wreck earlier. Seems like his truck has still got speed to carry, and he's trying to make it work here on lap 34. Looking inside on Ketchum. We're trying to see if that inside line is going to hold tough as tires go on. Tires wear down, I mean. And David Ketchum can't quite hold the speed off the corner as Trimmer's going to take the position there. The 92 going to go door to door with him in a 1. Ketchum losing ground, running that about 2.5 grooves up. Can't quite get to the bottom. They're going to single filing out here. We'll see if he'll take the bottom. He chooses a groove up. And we've seen that work for a couple drivers. Robbie Adi most notably. And back in the pack, the 81 of Bonser. That is your points leader. Back there in 21st. This could have a shakeup in points. Still early in the season. But you got to wonder if that might be weighing on him as we continue this one. Back with the leader, Robbie Adi, closing the gap here. He's got Cram pushing on his rear bumper. And they continue to close on Potak. Running single file through the top 4. It's all drivers you've heard their names most of the year. Adi, Cram, Carnes, Howe, Derek Winter, who's made a name for himself as of late. Ryan Libby, who's also made a name for himself as of late. And a guy who said to watch the 21 of Alex Basilio, also making a charge. He's in 9th. Potak continuing to work around this 2.5 mile rectangle. But he's got Adi filling up his mirror. The 12 of Adi trying to chase down that leader. Riding along with the 12 truck here. You hear him just working the throttle, trying to find some kind of speed. Almost getting into the wall. He's got that 44 Cram all over his rear bumper. Cram to his inside. Can't quite make the pass. Adi holds on here. Down the front straightaway. Laps winding down here as we get into the later stages of this one. Quick update on the field itself. Potak holding on to first. You see him in the 30 truck right there. Adi, Cram, and Carnes in this 3-car breakaway. And then we head back to Ryan Libby in the 23, leading that pack of 4, involving Derek Winter, Robert Milliken, and Dominic Howe. Dominic Howe under attack from Milliken right there, as Milliken's going to make the pass heading into 3. Trying to hold on to it in that Fanatec truck. It looks like he is going to make the pass. Dominic Howe going to drop back to 8th. 9th is Alex Basilio. He's kind of leveled on off back there. 10th is John Robert Masterson. And 11th is David Fugue. 12th is Tyler Davis. 13th is Samuel Williams. 14th is Quinn Trimmer. And rounding out your top 15 is the 92 of William Downey. But he's under attack from Mark Stryker back there in the 77. He's got Mulroney Jr., who we saw up at the front for a lot of this race. And Mulroney Jr. is going to try and make a pass here on Stryker. The 2 truck we've seen strong in a lot of races here. And he's continuing to try and push. He was involved in a wreck earlier. You see the damage to his truck. But he's making it work for him. Trying to use that speed that he can carry. That he's able to carry. Even with a little bit of a damaged hood, it looks like. A little bit of wrinkle on that truck. But he's looking under the 92 of Downham. Trying to make another pass. This one for 15th. Mark Stryker looks to take advantage now. As he watched Mulroney Jr. slide underneath Downham, he's going to try and do the same heading into 1. That low line is fast if you can do it, but Downham's hanging up there all the way on the high side. Gets in the wall right there, and that's going to give the 77 of Stryker the spot. David Ketchum looking to take advantage too. We saw Ketchum run that second groove for a lot of the race, and he's trying to make that work still. You wonder if he's saving tires for later in the run, or if that's just the line he's enjoying running. And they are going to single file on up here, back in this battle for 15th. We head back to the front, and Robbie Adi has dropped back to 3rd now, losing some time to Cram, and Skylar Carnes is reeling him in. Skylar Carnes looking low on Adi. He's got the quarter panel. Can he hang on? Side by side as they hit the backstretch. Can't quite make the pass just yet, but he's going to have a run on Adi on the outside. Carnes on the outside. Adi protecting the inside. Slides up in front of the truck to dive it back down into 3. Wonderful skill shown by these drivers here tonight. Continuing the battle here. Patience is key. Carnes really attacking Adi, but Adi's proven himself as quite the racer. So waiting for him to make a mistake is waiting for water, rain in a drought. It might happen, but it's going to be a very rare thing. Carnes all the way to his rear bumper, heading into 1. Sliding up the track, the Reds Apple Ale truck all over the 12 of Robbie Adi. And Robbie Adi has no room to make a mistake as Carnes continues to challenge him back in that Toyota Tundra. Robert Milliken with a little slide off of 2. He's going to pull to the inside. Can't quite get the pass completed there as we flash back to Carnes and Adi heading out of 3. These two trucks continuing to battle. And that is the sight that Josh Potak up there wants to see. These cars not drafting together, giving him more and more room to pull away. The interval back to Cram in 2nd is now over 2 seconds. Watching Potak just pull away, you're wondering if they're starting to think about a caution at this point. Will they be able to hang on? And oh, side by side, it's Adi. He's hit in the contact between him and Carnes, and it's just so unbelievable. I can't even talk. And Adi is sent all the way down to the apron, but hangs on to it with fantastic driving right there. But Carnes getting low, getting up into the door of Adi, sends him up into the wall. They're able to hang on as Carnes is going to get the position and start to pull away. Let's take one more look at that one. Coming off at 2, and they just get into each other. Robbie Adi able to hang on to that one. Could have very easily been the caution we just talked about. Let's take one more look at it here. Riding along here with Skylar Carnes. You see him on the bumper here of Adi going into 1. Gets a huge run, and he's going to take advantage of it. And you can't blame him. We're starting to get low in the race, and it weird kind of contact right there. So Adi is sent up into the outside retaining wall, able to hang on and stay in this one, but going to lose the position and in turn quite possibly lose the draft. So we head back to the leader of Josh Potak, putting the 81 of Chase Bonser 1 lap down. That is your points leader, going 1 lap down on the day as we continue to turn laps here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Lucas Cram back there in the 44. He's trying to chase him down but continues to lose time. That interval is now almost 3 seconds. back to second place. And that was a weird contact between Carnes and Adi. You gotta wonder if there was some internet, as chat had mentioned. Like Josh had mentioned last week, Adi's heading down pit road. Don't know if this is a scheduled pit stop or not, but Adi is heading down pit road. Is this a questionable decision, or is this a strategy move? It's a long way down that pit lane. He might have damage that he needs to fix. We'll see. He's 77 on pit road as well. It's Mark Stryker. Adi into the pit box. Right sides are up. And Potak continuing to pull away, now out to a gap of 3.3. Riding along here with the 47 of Carnes. He's under attack from Derek Winter, who looks low on him. Gonna be interesting to see if Carn gives room, or if he's gonna pin him down just like Adi did to him. Not quite sure if Adi really pinned him down there. I think they were both running their lanes, and it was just an unfortunate racing incident. But we carry on. Adi might try to be going to the end from here, perhaps. It's going to be interesting to see how the rest of the field shakes up. Going all the way to the apron. That's the lapped car letting these two by. Looked kind of funny from that angle, but everyone holds square. And Derek Winter looks like he's going to complete the pass of Carnes. Skyler not going to give it up easy, though. He's staying right on the 9's bumper. And the leader of Josh Potak with nothing but clean air in front of him. Lucas Cram back behind him, just unable to reel him in. Potak just ever so slightly faster in each lap, continuing to pull away. Couple battles going on in the further back in the pack. We have a three-way battle right here. Oh! Chris Kynes just misses that pit wall. Oh, boy. The 29 just survived what would have been near death. My goodness. Let's watch that one more time, shall we? Coming off of 4, he gets loose, keeps it off of the outside retaining wall, and then that pit wall closes so fast. But he's able to get the truck turned right and stay right there. That was a close call for him. Keeping an eye on the 21 here. That's Alex Basilio. We talked about him earlier and how good he is at these long runs. Able to reel some people in. He started in 7th and he's currently in 7th, but he's done his job. Continuing to pass trucks as he's weaving his way through the lap traffic now. Trying to catch up to Milliken in the 18. Currently sitting in 7th, like we just mentioned. And he's been running some fast laps, as a lot of these guys have. Lap trucks trying to get in that draft. And again, you see how important this draft is. With these long straightaways, it is imperative that you get in the draft and you stay in it. They make the leader, Josh Potak. He's led 47 of 49 and continues to just dominate this race here at Indy, as he's the fastest truck by a long shot. Lucas Cram back there in 2nd. All by himself, trying to reel him in. And then we head further on back. Derek Winter getting around Skylar Carnes and continuing to pull away and put a gap between the two of them. With 10 to go here, we're going to give you a little chance to crank it up. Watch these drivers really do what they do and work these trucks around this 2.5 mile quad, 2.5 mile rectangle oval. Woohoo, we're riding along with the 30 truck of Potak. You saw him get a little bit loose there off of 2. Cram may be able to take advantage. These trucks are starting to get a little bit squirrely here in the late stages. Potak continuing to pull away. He's got Cram behind him. And back behind him, Skylar Carnes. Struggling to hold on to that 4th position. All the trucks starting to kind of wear on off. You see them starting to spread on out. Not a lot of action going on here. We'll head back to the battle for 10th. David Fugue battling with Samuel Williams. It's the 48 and the 14 battling for 10th. Looks like the 48's going to have a challenge from the 14. Fugue looking to the outside, but the 48's going to come right back up the track. We've seen that a lot tonight, cutting the air by going to the inside and then jumping back to the outside just in time for the turn. We might see it late in this one. Big run by the 48 here. But the 14's going to have the draft of the truck in front of him. That's John Robert Masterson in 32. Can't quite make it work, though. As they head back into 3. 6 to go as they hit the line. See the trucks continuing to work here. Oh boy, there's a spin right there. That was Samuel Williams in the 48 truck. Right as we flashed away, truck gets sideways, and we stay green here at Indy. Let's take one more look at that one. Caution is out now. 48 gets loose and bangs into that inside retaining wall. Brings out the caution. Curious if it was the 48 later in that run. Oh, no, it was not. That is the 92 of William Downham. Let's take a look at what happened here. We saw the 48 get into the wall just before. And that is Robbie Oddie in the 12. As his bad luck streak continues. Downham gets the worst of it. What happened here? Let's take one more look at it. Oddie comes up, gets into Downham, but is able to keep the truck straight by nothing short of a miracle. The 92 gets absolutely railroaded by the 26 of David Ketchum, and then sliding in there trying to stay out of the way. Is a 78 of Quinn Trimmer. What a wreck right there that we just experienced. Let's take a peek at this from Robbie Otti's perspective. Side by side, blowing by the 48 who was in, and he just comes up a little too far. But you see him working those hands. So he's able to keep it straight throughout that. What a job by him. And now we're riding along with William Downham. Right up against that outside retaining wall. Just unlucky. And then can't quite save the truck. Locks it down and just gets smacked. So he's probably going to go to the infield care center for that one. Heavy hit to the 92. Let's race off of pit road. Potek and Cram way out ahead. Derek Winter in third. Skylar Carnes, you see him there in fourth. And we have quite a finish here set up at Indy. Just when you thought we were going to finish under a long green flag run. Caution like that. And we have some drama here at Indianapolis. Have I been saying Josh Potek all night? It is Jake Potek. I am sorry, Jake. If I've been saying Josh, for some reason I think I've been saying Josh all night. And I apologize for that. Man, I'm sorry about that. But we are going to have a, I believe, natural green-white checkered here to finish this one up. So we're going to take a look at our race summary right before we wrap this one up. 5 laps remaining. We've had 4 cautions for 14 laps. Could have easily been a few more cautions. We're able to keep it relatively low in terms of number of cautions. But the cautions do feel like they last a long time as you guys have been sitting through them all night. Appreciate all of you tuning in here tonight. Thank you especially to the sponsors of the Norse Force Racing League. Those included that you've seen tonight, Blaze Pizza and Butt Kicker, who you've not seen tonight that we should very well mention. Next Level Gaming, or Next Level Racing, I'm sorry. And Crockett Jerky, both big sponsors for this league and both make it able to be what it is. And what it is great racing, as we've seen that tonight. No one's been able to catch the 30 of Jake Potek, but Lucas Cram and Derek Winter with new tires. Also Skylar Carnes with new tires. We saw him not hang in there as well as the tires wore off, but with these new tires, it might be a completely different story as we get ready to get it rolling back here in Indy. Four laps to go here, and lights should be out on the pace car once we hit the start-finish line once again. Cram and Winter. Cram's been up front most of the race. Winter has battled his way to the front. He's looked very fast on this last little bit. I am curious to see if Winter was better on the long run than the short run, because a lot of these trucks are going to be pretty good on new tires, and all of them have them. So, we shall see. We shall see. Lights are off on the pace car, and you know what that means. 3 to go, and that is going to be a green-white checkered, natural green-white checkered. Should we have a caution before the white flag? The Norse Force Racing rules call for 2 attempts at a green-white checkered. So we'll go into NASCAR overtime and try and stack them and rack them one more time. Your points leader, Chase Bonzer, is back there in 16th. He's made his way back onto the lead lap. Robbie Adi's been knocked back to 13th, but don't think that will stop him from trying to charge up on this green-white checkered. And Skylar Carnes with new tires. Curious to see how he's able to run. He looked strong, and then as the tires wore off, he was starting to fall off a little bit. So curious what new tires are going to do for him. Someone we mentioned earlier, Alex Basilio. He was making his way to the front for a while. Dropped off, and now he's back up there in 8th. We'll see what he can do on this green-white checkered in the McDonald's Toyota Tundra. So here we go, the field coming off of 3. And they're going to head down into 4 one more time following the pace car. And here is where the restart games begin. Is Potek going to do what he's done all race and wait for the green flag? Is he going to jump it early? Is Cram going to be able to hang with him? Or is Winter going to be able to hang with him? We talked about how important the draft is, so this restart, vitally important. Pace cars off. They're stacked up, getting ready to go. The 30 truck gets bumped a little bit right there. Or no, maybe he just dove it to the inside. Not quite sure what happened. Here he goes, off into 1. Potek with a big run right there. Cram trying to hold on to that second place position. It looks like he will. Winter holding on the 3rd, and Carnes right behind him on trouble on the top side there as Howe and Milliken trying to pass him. Looks like Carnes is going to battle back to the inside. Caution back behind him. 46 of Justin Walters is around. The 12 of Robbie Adi is around. Both trucks sent to the inside of the track, and that will bring out our caution. And we'll head to our attempted green-white checkered. Let's take a quick look at what happened here. 46 of Justin Walters driving it in. And Robbie Adi really holding that bottom line. Just gets into the bumper of the 46. Both trucks get sent around onto the apron. And that brings out another caution. As you see, the rest of the field was still pretty stacked up here. So this could be an interesting restart now. So we head back live. Field catching up with the pace car. Like we said, we're going to rack them and stack them one more time. Thank you for tuning in here tonight. If you're just joining, we got a good one for you. It's going to be a green-white checkered finish. 2 attempts at it as we head into NASCAR overtime here at the Norse Force Invader Series Indy 500. Curious to see if anyone dives down pit road here. Over team radio, Robbie Adi not happy with that one. And you gotta kind of agree with him. He made a move and it just didn't work out for him. 46 tried to hold on to that low line, couldn't quite hold on to it, came back down. Not 100% sure what happened, but definitely something to look at. Faking down pit road is Derek Winter. We'll see if anyone actually does take pit road. Looks like none of these lead cars will head down pit lane. First one down pit lane is the 92 of Downham, followed by the 81 of Bonzer. And there's that 46 just involved in the wreck, Justin Walters. 3 trucks heading down pit lane. Everyone else stays out. And we're going to do battle one more time. We're officially into NASCAR overtime. Lap 61 out of 63. And we should have an interesting finish here. A lot of drivers refusing to comment as they head to the infield care center here tonight. And a couple of drivers look like they might have had a little bit of frustration. Curious how that felt. Especially we're thinking of the 81 of Bonzer when he was turned into earlier. He definitely showed his frustration getting back into the 8 of Zentek as they got back under caution. But as we know, drivers are exceptionally good at figuring things out on their own. So again, should it be necessary to call them to the hauler? Possibly, probably not. So something to note, though, for tomorrow's Xfinity Series, or Xfinity race, brought to you by the Norse Force Berserker Series, is we've seen these trucks run under green flag conditions. We're curious if the Xfinity cars will also run the same. At Iowa, we saw a couple extended green flag runs. So I'm curious if we'll get that again, that kind of same feeling. Going into Iowa, I know a lot of the Berserker drivers were worried because they watched the Invader race from the night before with so many cautions that they would have similar. They did not. So I'm curious if history will repeat itself and we'll have that again this week. And if you want to tune into that, be sure to check out the broadcast of the Norse Force Berserker Series. We can link that K-Boy Motorsports on YouTube. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but that is where that race will be broadcast. Lights still on the pace car as we continue to cycle around here, get the field back squared away. Your top 5 remains the same. Aaron Mulrooney Jr. in the 2 truck has battled all the way up to 6th. We saw him get shuffled to the back at one point. And our dark horse of the race, who we've talked about all race, Alex Basilio, back there in 8th. He's going to have a shot at this. David Fugue making his Norse Force debut tonight. I believe we're going to get our statisticians on that. Not his debut. I apologize, David. Not quite sure why we thought that, but we're apparently struggling with that. We need our co-host Joshua Crane in here with us. We're making do with what we got. We're hopefully giving you guys the broadcast. The drivers are definitely giving us a lot of action here as this race winds down. Gonna get another green white checker here. Lights should be out on the pace car. As trucks, you can see them. They're already getting kind of squirrely, kind of wound up. And you got to imagine this restart is going to be chaotic. If you're in the 44 truck, what are you thinking here? You haven't been able to catch Potag all race. So what's your strategy? Do you just got to sit right on his bumper? Do you got to drive him hard down into 1? It's hard to say what would work, what wouldn't. As of this moment in time, the finishing lap will be lap 65. 5 laps extended from where we were. Originally scheduled for 60 laps, we've now gone 65. So should we have run green and then had a yellow? Would have been interesting to see pit strategy in terms of fuel. Pretty sure all drivers could have made it, but we're going to talk about it like it would have been an exciting finish. It possibly could have been. Who knows? All right, here we go. Back to the action. 30 of Potak still holding that inside. It's going to be interesting. We're looking at the guys on the outside line. That's Cram, Dominic Howe in the 10, Mulrooney Jr. in the 2. How quickly those guys are going to be able to get to the bottom. We've seen the bottom dominate most of the race. You got to think that's where you want to be coming off of turn 2. So we're going to see how aggressive these guys get and how crazy this restart is going to be. Pace car is off. Green, white, checkered finish here. Let's see if we can get it done. Potek in the 30 truck, gonna lead him to the green flag. Cram is outside. We are green once again. Green, white, checkered. Here for all the marbles in Indy. Potek with a great restart. He's got the lead on Cram, heading into 1. And Derek Winter with a huge run in that 9 truck Pennzoil paint scheme. Trying to hang on to 3rd place right there. Potek continuing to pull away. He's got no challenge for the 44 just yet. But the 9 truck of Derek Winter clearing the 10 of Dominic Howe. Cutting the air, trying to make them not able to draft. Trucks diving to the inside, trying to get a run. Potek holding on to the lead. Mulrooney Jr. doing everything he can to gain as many positions as he can. With that wrinkled front fender still making it work. Truck is loose back there. That's David Fugue into the inside retaining wall. Let's see if the leaders take the white flag. We will stay green here as he stays on the access road. Leaders taking the white flag. Next flag ends the race. Potek down into 1. Cram trying to do anything he can here. Will it be enough? 0.4 of a second back heading into 2. Potek with a great run off of turn 2. Looks like he's going to start to pull away here. Cram still trying to stay in his sights. He's got Winter behind him and back behind them. Trucks battling, trying to get every position they can. Still holding at 0.4 back. Potek holding on to this lead, not giving any ground to Cram. As they come off a 4 for the final time today. Potek holding on to the lead. Looks like he might be our winner here at Indy. Potek's going to hold on to that lead. He is going to take the checkered flag and finish first. Jake Potek is your winner here at Indianapolis in the Norse Force Invader Series. As the rest of the field crosses the line, it's Masterson finishing 11th, you just saw. Stryker holding on. And the rest of these trucks. A great finish here tonight. An absolute, oops. Sorry about that. An absolutely wild one that Jake Potek takes going away. He definitely earned it, leading a ton of laps here tonight. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back with interviews from your top 3.
Okay, we're going to keep this quick.
Because at Blaze Pizza, artisanal quality at crazy fast speed is what we're all about.
Fresh dough made from scratch daily.
Walk the line and choose any toppings you'd like.
It's all one price.
Then it's just 180 seconds in our blazing hot oven
For fast fire perfection.
That's Blaze Pizza. Sound good?
Then come check us out and build your own pizza at Blaze Pizza.
I don't know. What's up, Jared? I was pulling a strategy move. I just didn't really see a way for them to make it on fuel, so pit it. Got tires now. I probably would have won the race because I just do not see any way they could have made it on fuel. I'm just going down the straightaway. I'm going a lot faster because I'm faster in the first place and got new tires, and I don't know what happened. William just got into my right rear and sent me flying. So I'm gonna talk to him after the race. I ain't mad. I know he's a good guy and all, but it's a bit frustrating. Yeah, it's just not my type of track. And I told myself at work today because I didn't know what track we were going to. I'm like, as long as it's not Indy or Darlington, I'll be fine. And it was Indy. I've only raced one race here before. Didn't get any practice for the most part. And I like to drive it in deep. Used to braking. This one's just all about patience, momentum. I'm just not a big fan of. But Jake did a great job. He dominated. He led the race, and he held off the field. So props to him. Another guy to look out for. Skyler, dude. I mean, I was running with Lucas and Jake and them all earlier, and I just didn't see how Skyler was up there because all season, like he'll be up there and then he'll spin. So probably one of Skyler's better performances, and I race drivers differently on their talent. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but like for example, like I'll pinch Lucas. Me and Aaron, we know how to race each other. With some of the other guys, we give them a bit more room. With Skyler tonight, I was able to race him hard. Yes, he got into me, but he did a great job, dude. He's getting faster and faster. Yeah, definitely. All right, well, I'm gonna run. I was not expecting getting interviewed, so good luck, dude.
I do. I finished, we had a lot of damage because I was racing hard after that, trying to keep positions and smack the wall a little bit. But other than that, seventh, I'll take it. That's another top 10 on the season compared to all my other finishes where either I wreck out or finish a few laps down due to damage. So I will definitely take that tonight running with the fast guys. I know I'm quick with them. Maybe I can pull out a win one day for sure. I did race a little bit different. It's a long race. I've been racing with Josh Zintek a little bit more, and he's been teaching me, conserve. And so that's what I did. Whenever Lucas and the 9 car were battling in front of me for a few laps, I didn't, want to make any moves. Just want to stay behind them, save my stuff while they're burning their stuff out in front of me, battling each other. And when the time's right, I'll pass them both eventually. But right now, just stay conservative, and then eventually you'll get it up there. Because if you have a clean car, the end of the race, you'll definitely have a shot compared to having a clean car and then wreck out at the beginning of the race. Oh yes, definitely. I'm definitely going to be practicing a lot more going into Chicagoland next week, and definitely try to watch the replay from the race today, see what I improved on, see what I still need to work on during this race, and then use those tips that I've learned to carry over into next week at Chicagoland, so that way I can stay up in the top 5 for sure. All righty. Well, thank you, Jarrett, for pulling me in here. Didn't expect this. Um, But thank you for putting the broadcast on. Thank you for all of our sponsors here tonight, and it was a fun one. Great. All righty, we'll see you next week, buddy.
I got left loud and clear. Somebody did that in the race too, actually. Yeah, it was pretty fun. Did I didn't do C fix, so I didn't run the fix out of I ran C open back here in July, so I ran quite a bit of that, and it was a blast. So I was really excited when I saw that we are going to Indy this week, and felt like I had a decent shot at a top three, and depending obviously who's in here, maybe a chance at the win. And yeah, I hopped in with my classic during qualifying because I get home right before the race starts. So hopped in during qualifying, and I boot my computer up at the start. My brake pedal was glitched, so like I had to reset it. So my first lap didn't count for qualifying, so I had to stop and reset. And on my second lap, I so barely lightly touched the right rear in the turn one wall that I got like a delayed 0x out of it, and so it discounted my lap, but my projector lap thingy said I ran a 305, which would have put me second. So that was a little bit disappointing. And so I knew from that point it was just kind of being patient, trying to claw the field. Starting 26th, and Dominic did the same thing. He hit the wall in his qualifying lap, so we both kind of went through the field together, which was pretty fun. But then, yeah, I got up there towards the end and just couldn't really have much for Jake there. I felt like if we had stayed green there, that he was going to run out of fuel, and I was barely to the good, and I've been saving for a little. Ever since I got the second, I was saving. So it was a little disappointing to have that happen because I really felt like I had it on fuel mileage, but I guess it's kind of a cheap way to win. So yeah, either way, good one by Jake. He was flying there. Just being patient. That's really the number one thing. Is just a lot of slower guys. Just no disrespect to them, obviously, but they just don't quite have the pace. So and some guys are really back there to really taking it easy themselves, trying to really take it easy, make sure they don't get wrecked out or something. So I accidentally tagged somebody actually turn two because I didn't expect them to check up as much as they did. And so it's just it's really being patient and trying to to set your boundaries on the racetrack and around other guys and kind of learn passing people back there, how you can try to take that and pass people at the very front of the field. Obviously, it's a big speed difference, but that's basically the goal, and learning who's fast and who isn't. So it's basically that was the number one thing, and taking care of the truck is the number one deal, obviously. So somehow I was able to manage to do that, and just kind of slowly, methodically working my way through the field, and managed to get there at the end. A huge shout out to Matthew and everybody else who put this series on. It's been a ton of fun. I can't wait to come back next week. There's no modified races Thursday because of Halloween, so can't wait to come back to this league next week. Huge shout out to you for broadcast. Can't wait to go back and watch it. Obviously, a fantastic job. I've loved it. Huge shout out to everybody that raced me there. Skylar let me go a couple times, and Derek was fun to race with there and drove really respectfully. So huge shout out to him as well. And congrats to Jake on the win. And I think that's it. I'm not sure actually. I haven't really done a lot of racing there, and when I have, it's not been so great. But I haven't really raced there recently, so I'm not really sure how it's gonna go. I think top five is the goal for me. Is try to run in there and see how I stack up. I feel like I can run decent if I put effort into it and really focus. And I'll probably practice sometime this week to do it since I can't practice for the race. So yeah, we'll just have to see. But obviously, if Potak and these other guys are going to be in there, it's going to be really tough. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Thanks, man. Have a great night.
you.